Welcome to the Confident Mental Wellness Podcast. Challenge what holds you back, where we love on and challenge business executives, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, thought leaders, and coaches to take us deep, revealing how self-doubt, negative thinking, and even sheer fear were secrets they refuse to reveal to anyone. Secrets that once held them back. We'll hear how these leaders cast off the fear, excuses, and setbacks to move forward with purpose and passion. How they activated a mindset that set them up for success. You were saying that at first it was like a secret you kept from people. Tell me about that again.
So we went through from non-invasive genetic testing because I was a little bit older when I had my kids.
Okay.
So having Graham, having Adeline was pretty simple. It was just like, okay, everything looks great. Have a good day. Graham, oh, wait, right here. We'll have to get the geneticist. And we're like, what's that mean? And so then that kind of began a series of events when I was still pregnant.
Mhm.
Uh, of going through some additional testing and stuff to see like well, what's going on. So through the additional testing, we were pretty much able to rule out other things, but Down syndrome was kind of escalating on that chart of the odds of it possibly, of us having a child. And so, you know this, but you don't really share it with people because there's a part of you in the back of your mind that's hoping it's not real, So you're kind of living this life and you're hoping it doesn't happen, but it's a good chance. And then you have your child, and well, he's born with Down syndrome. Um, and and even when we had him at the hospital, even the doctors and nurses wouldn't confirm it for us when he was first born. And I don't know if it's because of legality reasons, and I don't want to do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, but they're like, well, he's really swollen from birth. We're going to have to take the chromosome test to make sure, for sure.
Mhm.
I'm not, Stephanie, I wish I had a picture of you when Graham was first born. It was obvious. But, as a mom, you just had your baby, you're going through all the things and you're just like, okay, well, maybe, maybe it's not, you're like, your mind's playing tricks with you. You're telling yourselves that. And so, and then we get confirmation that, he does have Down syndrome. And I laugh at myself looking back like, Georgia, come on, you knew it. But, you're just in such a fog from it all. Uh, and then, people start to come over because they want to meet your baby and see you. And then you're like, how do you even say that? Or do you say that? So there was a period of time where we didn't say it, right after his birth, we didn't say it. We just kind of kept it to ourselves. Um,
And what was that reason, though, to keep it to yourself?
I think twofold. I think one, I didn't want to spoil the beautiful part of having a child, bringing a child into this world, um, and trying to already define him already by something. Um, and and I think I was trying to come to grips with it, trying to understand what is this going to look like, your mind goes through a lot of things through that, and it probably took me um, personally a good year to wrap my mind around what was going on with having a child with Down syndrome, what that would maybe look like for me and for our family. So
Mhm.
probably within, I would say, a few months after his birth was when we started to share it a little bit, closer friends.
And when you began to share, well, let me just step back a little. What was the fear in sharing?
Uh, I don't know. I think I was scared of a lot of things, of the unknown. I didn't know anybody with Down syndrome. I didn't know that maybe I even knew somebody who knew someone who had Down syndrome. So it was so far removed for me. And there were so many unknowns. I think the unknown was the scariest part to me.
But if you told someone, what would happen? What did you think might happen?
I don't want people to feel sorry for me.
Mm.
And I didn't want a sadness around him just because he was born with chromosomal disorder. So
Mm.
it happens sometimes. People are like, oh, sorry to hear that. You know,
Yeah. So you don't want pity, and you definitely don't want to be judged.
yeah.
You have to find a way to manage those concerns, or I guess some worry and anxiety about how people will respond.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird place to be. And it's lonely in those moments because you don't really know how to, even share it, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
yeah.
in a good way, right? Good is the right word, but in a way that's just kind of like natural and it's okay, But even at this, I was still very sad, and in working through my own sadness and grief of what I was hopeful, of having a child that didn't have to be born with a condition that was going to make things way harder for him from the get go.
So what was it that made you decide to begin to open up about it? I mean, how did you get to that point that you were ready to share?
I don't remember exactly in the beginning, like in those first few months. I know I kind of kept to myself more so in the beginning. And then I just was able to, I felt a need to share it with my closer friends. I felt like I needed to get that out. Um, so
So you had a confidant. You had several people who were like confidants for you, is it, would you say?
so I had, yeah, a handful of really close girlfriends at the time. So, um, I think there was a part of me that wanted them to know, wanted to bring them in, of what was going on. And, of course I had um, family that we had told they knew about the journey from the get go, So so there so it wasn't like it was just me or just me and my husband per se. Uh,
Mhm.
Maybe for a little bit in the journey when I was still pregnant, but then we started to share it with our close family members. Um, and so it was just I didn't want it to be a secret. I didn't, I'm like, I didn't want that heaviness of, I just wanted to be open. And so, now, as you saw earlier when we were talking, I'm very open with it. And my second born is Graham, and he has a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism. You know, I want people to know that it's an important part of our family, details. And I feel like the more open you can be about it, the better it is. It's a not keeping people, I just posted a picture yesterday on LinkedIn because my son's teacher is awesome and she'll send us pictures sometimes of him throughout the day. And he's at recess and he's high fiving another child, at recess, a typical peer, a child that's typical. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. The more you talk about it, bring it up, be around, that the more comfortable it is. And so, and it's that weight is gone. It's not like, even the way I see it today, it's sad, like you, somebody can be around somebody with special needs and they're a little bit skittish, they're nervous or they just turn their head or they don't, instead of just embracing it. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that, you think? Why do people do that?
Why do they do that? I think there are different reasons. I think they don't know what to do. So they respond by doing nothing at all or pretending like they don't see you, right? Which is really one of the worst things you can do because we're all people and we all have the same, you know, heart and feelings at the end of the day, want to be loved and accepted. And I think there's probably some fear there too because they're afraid of maybe doing the wrong thing. So, and then that kind of just that unfortunate um, chain of events where just leads to something and they're not good. It's not
Hmm.
healthy, really.
Right. So, do you have any words of wisdom for others who are still holding in a secret or some event or some circumstance that they're in? They're holding it in. They don't want the world or people to see the real them or what their experience is, maybe the emotions that they're going through. Um, do you have any words of wisdom or advice for people about their secrets and what it's like when you unhide them?
It's freeing in many ways. The weight is lifted, um, and it feels good. It feels really good. It feels that's where you should be living life in a place of freedom and not this weight of something constantly holding you back for whatever reason it might be. Um, Bringing those to lights always feels good.
It does. I say letting go sweetens life and it makes you free. Any words to those people who look away, ignore you? Any
Uh,
word for those folk? Well, that's
yeah, no, I believe God made me the mom of Graham for a reason. There was a reason why I didn't know anyone with Down syndrome or know anyone who might have known someone with Down syndrome. They might have, but it never floated in my circles. I'm here to not just love my son, but to educate the world and those that I meet about Graham and others with special needs, that they are just like us and they want to be included and loved and just like all of us do. So when you see like it's just the same, say hello, shake a hand, you know, give some knuckles. That's what Graham will say right now. Knuckles.
knuckles. I love it. I love it.
Help his day, it's just those little things. They really go a long way.
Knuckles. That sounds like a book title. Is that in store for you, Georgia? Is a book in store for you?
Looking for okay. Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. The world would needs to hear needs to hear that freeing message that you have. I hope you know that.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't don't always get a chance to share it. So
Yeah. And tell you what, just I don't want to hold you much longer. We've gone over our time. Um, so that I have it just recorded. Can you just really quickly tell me what you do for a living and about your wonderful, diverse, beautiful family? Just a word so that, we have you on camera, but now we know who you are. If somebody edits my podcast, they'll know who you are. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
a little bit about you as we close up here.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm Georgia Snodgrass. And I'm an independent consultant with Scout and Cellar, educating others about how to make a better choice when it comes to wine and coffee because most people don't know how contaminated they are with chemicals and synthetics and pesticides and even mold in coffee. So I love for people to make a better choice for themselves. And I got into this world of wine and coffee because I stepped out of corporate many years ago before the finalization of our adoptions to be home for that transition. And then after about a year or so, desire to have something of my own again and to provide for my family in multiple facets, including financially. So needed something that would still allow me to have autonomy of my time. And hearing about Scout and Cellar just seemed like a great fit for me. But married and have four amazing kids. Our oldest is our only daughter, and then Graham is our one that has special needs. He actually has a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism. And then we adopted our two youngest ones, Francis and Jojo. They were both from Ghana. And lots of crazy dynamics in our household at any given time. You never know what you're going to walk into. But this is our world, and we're happy to be in it. So
Can we get that picture of your family on your phone that you showed me earlier? Look at y'all. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. And Georgia, if we want to follow you and find out what you're up to with projects you have, your business, how do we follow you?
um, yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn. Um, Love to connect on there. And I'm also on, well, Instagram and Facebook. On
So me at what?
at Instagram, Snodgrass Tribe Mama. So
For me?
we call our people our tribe because that's what we are. We're a tribe.
Okay. And it's Snodgrass, right? Your last name. Oh, okay. Great. Great. Okay. Mhm. You know what? I did this last night for the first time. I asked a person that I was interviewing, would you mind, as about to get my book out, hoping that I can find people to endorse it, would you mind saying a word about it? I know you haven't read it, but just the title. The secret you hide holds you back. Is that an important topic? And would you mind sharing um, why a book like that is important for us?
Sure, yeah, of course. The secret you hide will hold you back. I mean, absolutely, those secrets, they do hold us back from being happy in life, from moving forward in life, um, from being the best versions of ourselves in life. So the secrets are, they're weighty and they hold us back, and they do damage. Sometimes we don't pay attention to that damage. We ignore the damage, but it's there nonetheless. And so, to be able to read a book, that your book that you have written, to help give us some skills, some tips on how we can help to release some of those secrets that we keep, would be huge and just so much better for everyone as a whole. We would be not just better versions for ourselves, but better as we're better people for ourselves, we're better for everyone, you know?
Because everyone's journey to confident mental wellness includes challenges, you're going to find a lot of value in our newest book, The Secret You Hide Holds You Back: How Letting Go Sweetens Life and Makes You Free. It's coming soon. If you know of a leader who would be perfect for this podcast, they've cast off the fear, excuses, and setbacks to activate a mindset that sets them up for success, please send them my way.